All right, well, hallelujah. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of America, and you people who are concerned about the wicked fall of this country in the world. Let me paint a picture for everybody out there of what's going on. But in order to do that, we have to go back in history to get an understanding. Because the Bible teaches that understanding is a wellspring of life. Now, whether you receive or reject it is irrelevant. It's still, to me, a book of wisdom, life knowledge, and it helps me to chart my course in life. Hallelujah. And I thank the Most High for that. But, one of our major problems here in America is that we have been so spoiled by consumer credit. And we've been so spoiled by the TV and everything else. We are the dumbest nation that has ever existed on the face of planet Earth, because we're mind numbed to TV, the internet, and every other thing that takes away, that causes distractions to happen in our mind, that takes away our mind from things that's really truly happening. Let me paint a picture here. You see, a few weeks ago, President Obama went and had a meeting called the G20, and during the time of this G20 over there in Korea, they had a few little powwows, and the United States of America tried to go and bully and force the other countries to buy more of our treasury, to expand the debt, and continue to keep doing this. And of course, they all reneged. They all said, man, you folks out of your mind. You broke, you're bankrupt, and who in the world do you think you are? Basically, they're letting them know in a nutshell, and the American people, that the dollar, as far as the world reserve currency, your days is over. It is going down like a 2-ton heavy stick. And that's just the truth. So, all of a sudden, a few days later, next thing you know, we got North Korea and South Korea bombing the living daylights each other with mortars. I mean, just bombing each other country. Now, what's going on? Now, I've got a saying that I've always said, that those of you who do not know history, you are destined to repeat the same mistakes from the past. Now, let's go back into the roaring 20s. You see, it was in 1928 that Herbert Hoover, who was a candidate at the time, promised the Americans that we're going to have an age of prosperity. And I mean, people were living large, especially the white folk. The black folk and the rest of us, we wasn't living large at all. And so they thought that this time and this age of prosperity was going to continue to keep on going. And I tell you what, boy, everybody was just looking up, partying, having a good time, buying homes. Consumer credit had just got finished being introduced to the nation. People could borrow prosperity from the future. Didn't have to worry about it because the jobs were there. I mean, it was going fine, and then bam, right out of nowhere, 1929. The Great Depression hit. Stock market crashes. Boom! Y'all see what's going on? Does this scenario seem to be playing out again? Let me let you in on something. You see, we had just got finished coming out of World War I. And the 20s was an age of prosperity for the United States of America. We just got finished coming out of this so-called war on terror. Now, the truth is, it's our government that's raging terror on the United States citizens. That's what the war on the terror is, and that's how they define it. But they got you thinking that the war on terror is that we got some enemy 5,000 miles away, when we got a whole bunch of them, 545 of them, sitting right here in our own backyard. And so the picture is this. So now, here we are again. Look what's happening. People are losing money in the stock market. The stocks have fallen another 20% just this year. Gold and silver has risen again to high levels, another increase. I mean, can you imagine just in the last few years that gold and silver has increased over 300%? Wow, the stocks are falling. Now, what is it? Well, this is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for another war, because that's how that the United States of America has made its prosperity, is by going to war. So what you need to do is get your eyes tuned in. You need to really, really pay attention and give it in and listen and find out what's going on. Now think about this for a second. Russell just got finished telling us that we ain't doing no more treaties with you. We're going to go ahead and go forward with this missile defense system, whether you like it or not. So while America's disarming, everybody else is arming up. What is going on? I told you. You see, anytime you are bankrupt like we are, the only way that this country can make money is by going to war. That means your sons and your daughters are going to go and fight for these rich people who allegedly and supposedly be smart enough and have a degree, have something like an MBA, and stupid enough to get us in a financial situation that we're in today. And so the poor people going to die, the rich people going to live, and that's just the way it is. But not if you're informed and you're listening to people who have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's why I tell you clearly. Number one on the priority is get your heart right with the Most High. That's number one, and keep the commandments. Forget about this American Christianity stuff. And while I'm here, if I can just get somebody to tell me one thing that is the truth about Christianity, just one, I would love to hear it so I could preach it. So just tell me one. You need to get your heart right with the Most High. And number two, you need to start storing up food. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And then number three, you need to get some gold and silver. You're going to need something to barter with. You're going to need something to trade with. You see, I've been telling you people for years and years and years that silver is one of the best investments that there is today. And it's getting ready to go through the roof. It is, because when JP Morgan fails and all the other people start calling in their short positions, all the short positions that JP Morgan has had because they have sold silver and sold gold 16 years into the future. How do you do that? I guess it's the same way that our country can put money out of thin air and call it quantitative easing. You get ready for QE3, QE4, and then bam, after that it's over. You better start preparing. Right now we have a grace period of preparation. And don't forget your guns and your bullets. And hey, you're going to need some seeds. You're going to need to grow something with. You better make this upcoming year the most prosperous garden year that you have ever had. Because against the will of the people, these sorry pigs called United States senators have passed Senate Bill S-510. The Senate has, right before your very eyes. And even C-SPAN has got a bunch of jacklegs politicians who are upset about it because they are clearly saying that the thing is rigged. Nobody cares to hear about what they got to say because we have somebody ruling. Your senators don't rule this country. The president don't rule this country. There's somebody else that rules this country. But anyway, I thought I'd just give you that little update. But I want to leave you with this. Russia and China have been talking with each other and they have chose to opt out of the dollar. They said, forget that mess. They're not going to pay back this. There's no way they can do it. Nobody's buying our treasuries anymore. So our country has to print. And you're going to continue to keep seeing gas prices go up, food prices go up, commodities growing up. You're going to continue to keep seeing all this stuff growing up. And people like me, old Pastor, I just got finished coming back today on a 400-mile trip because I just got finished buying over $1,000 worth of bulk canned goods. Isn't that something? So a lot of people talk about what they want, what we should do, and a lot of people do it. So you need to pay attention to the ones who are actually doing what they say and not the ones who are on here blowing a bunch of hot air and not giving you any direction at all. And if you're in any of these churches out here that don't keep the commandments, because the scriptures clearly says, whosoever keep the commandments shall feel no evil thing. And if you're in these churches out here that don't keep the commandments, and you're in these churches out here that your pastor's got his head stuck in the sand because he's still looking at Fox, NBC, ABC, and CBS, and NS, MF, NBC, or whatever the rest of these alphabet soups is, you're going to be in the same condition as they are. You're going to be in the soup line. That's what I'm talking about is getting ready to take place with this God-forsaken country. And that is the truth straightway.